están ustedes? Espero que todo esté bien con ustedes y su familia. Bienvenidos a la clase de Español 1. Me llamo Señora Zeilenga. Welcome to Back to School Night. Definitely looks a little bit different than we've ever done before, but let's go ahead and give this a shot. I do apologize in advance for the sound. The microphone on the district provided webcam I have is not always the best, so hopefully you can hear me and it's not too muffled sounding. So like I said, this is Spanish 1. I have the opportunity to teach your students Spanish this year, and I'm really looking forward to it. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you guys so we can talk about this class. All right. Like I said, Spanish 1, on this front screen, you'll see my email address and also the school phone number along with my extension. I do come into the classroom to teach, so if you need to get a hold of me or your child needs to get a hold of me, they can call the school and be directed towards my classroom. So a little bit about me. I grew up in an English-speaking home. I learned Spanish at Hart High School. I took 4 years there and then moved on to college where I also studied Spanish and ended up getting a double major in education and in Spanish. So one thing I think that sometimes sets me apart from other Spanish teachers is I learn the language just like your student is learning the language. I sat in the classroom, Spanish 1, not knowing a word or anything that was going on, and I was able to learn the language with a ton of practice and hard work. And so I feel like I'm able to connect with your students because I understand what it's like to learn a second language. And so hopefully I'll be able to teach it in a manner that they can understand and we can have a successful semester. Let's see what else. While I was in college, I studied abroad and spent a summer in Spain living with a family where I got to practice the language and learn about the culture. And then a couple summers after college, I lived in Spain again. I lived in Mexico for a couple summers and then traveled all over Central America. And then I've also taken a trip to Peru. So I've learned and practiced the language all over the world, and I hope to bring a lot of those experiences into the classroom and share that with your students. I have been teaching Spanish here at West Ranch for 15 years, so Spanish 1, 2, and 3. This year I'll be just doing Spanish 1. I consider myself a very tech-savvy teacher, but I do have to say this online learning, it's a whole new world, whole new ball game. I'm learning a lot of new technology to get the curriculum across to your students, and hopefully we'll have a lot of success. I do know it has been frustrating these last couple of weeks with Wi-Fi issues, power issues. It seems like everything's being thrown at us. So I've just told your students, communicate with me. If they get kicked off, give it a second, jump back on. I'll let them back in our Zoom meeting. If things don't work at all, when they are able to email me and let me know what's happening. And we'll work together, okay? We'll work through all these frustrations and we'll be successful, but the key is communication. Whether your students talk to me or you guys are talking to me, just let's keep an open line of communication and try to work through this semester and make it the best that we can. So that's that. My schedule, I have the privilege of working part-time. I have 2 little ones at home, an almost 1-year-old and a 4-year-old. And so I have the privilege of just working Monday, Wednesday, and Thursdays. So I will be here for your students when they need me on Tuesdays and Fridays. They can always email me. I can't promise you I'll get back to them right away. If some of you remember having 2 little ones at home, not much gets done, but I will do my best to help your students. But I am here and available for them the days that I work. Right? So this is our daily agenda, and this can be found on our Google Classroom. So I tell your students when they log into Google Classroom every day, they want to open up the daily agenda to see what we're doing. And let me just walk through this with you guys. So you'll see every day we're going to start with a warm-up. This gets your students thinking in Spanish again, reviewing stuff that we've already learned. And then after that, we do what I call anuncios, which give your students the opportunity to practice the language and speak it and earn pesos, okay? Pesos are a way that I get your students to actually speak the language. They get rewarded a peso if they are right or wrong. I want them to try this language, and I've told them multiple times they're going to make a ton of mistakes this semester, and that's okay. I want them to. That's part of the learning process. So the pesos, about every 5 class periods, they'll turn them in, and if they have 10, they'll get 100%. And if they have less, then the grades will fall that way. If they want to make up pesos, they can always try harder the next time and earn more pesos to kind of average out their score. After we do our announcements, we'll probably do some type of vocab practice, and then if there's notes that day, we'll do notes, and then we'll do practice of the grammar notes. And yeah, so that's pretty much what a typical day in Spanish class looks like. If you take a look at our Bitmoji classroom, you'll see there's a pegboard on the right side. That's where they can find links to everything. So our textbook link is there. We'll be using that a lot to do practice activities, listening activities. Their homework is often on the online platform. The Zoom logo, when they click on that, that takes them into our Zoom meeting for our daily classes. And there's a couple other links there that they will find helpful throughout the semester. All right, grades. Students must earn a 70% to move on to next semester. Students need a strong foundation this semester to move on to the next semester of Spanish and then to move on to Spanish 2. So please make sure that your students are maintaining a grade of 70% or higher. Check in on them throughout the semester just to make sure that they're really building that strong foundation to be successful throughout the next couple years of their language. 2 years of a foreign language are recommended, or actually are required for most four-year universities. 3 years is what is recommended. The grade breakdown, grades are weighted in this class, so 35% of the students grade our test, 20% quizzes, 25% would be assignments, and 20% would be that oral participation or presentations, the PACEs that I was talking about earlier. Okay, Infinite Campus, feel free to log in and check up on your student. There's an app for your smartphone too, and there is a code that you'll need for that. It's on the syllabus if you need that. Google Classroom, you've all been invited to join. You'll receive weekly summaries of what's been going on in class. If you did not receive that invite, please send me a personal email and let me know, and then just make sure I have the correct email address for you for that invite, and I'll join you to our list. Tests will be done online, tests and quizzes done online at a very specific time. Your student needs to be available during that time because the tests will be unlocked for that period of time. During our online learning, students will be allowed to use their notes on their test. This will change once we return back to the classroom, but for the online at-home part, I'm allowing them to use their notes. So I've told them this. I've told them make sure you're taking good notes, you're following along. When questions arise, make sure that you clarify things that you don't understand and you know how to use your notes so that you can be successful on your test. Here is the tentative test schedule. Your students have this. It's also linked to their Google Classroom, so you can always find it in there. Our first test will be on Lección 1A, which is the first part of Chapter 1. The chapters in our textbook are really big, and so I've broken them down so that your students can learn and master the language better and also retain stuff. So our first test is September 8th. They'll have their first vocab quiz on September 3rd, which is Thursday. Extra help. At the first sign of struggles, please encourage your student to seek help. Oftentimes, it's just, a simple question that unlocks so much and they can move on and be successful in the language. But if they don't get that help, they tend to get buried and more frustrated, and it becomes a bigger issue. So please have them email me or call me, or we can set up during the flex time, we can set up a Zoom call and I can work through stuff with them. Bringing up flex time, Mondays and Thursdays, I'm available from 1:40 to 3:30 to help your child. Wednesday afternoons, I am here also, but those are saved for professional development and department meetings and all that. So most Wednesdays I have a meeting, but have them email me if I have time, and I will get back to them on Wednesdays also. But Mondays and Thursdays are the best. And then great resources for them. There's a couple websites listed there that give more grammar explanation. What else is there? There's practice there. There's some vocab games and quizzes and all that. So if they want some extra resources, they can check those websites. And what else? I think that's about it. As a parent, you can help your student. I know a lot of you think, well, I don't speak Spanish. How can I help them? Sorry, my lights get turned off in my room if I don't move around. Sorry about that. You can help them by just creating a positive environment. a great place to study in the house. Help them with the distractions. It is hard enough in a classroom to not be distracted. I know at home there's so many distractions, so maybe helping them put the phone away, turn off the video games, close all the extra tabs on their computer, and just focus on what we're learning in Spanish at that time. Maybe creating a calendar for them and helping them organize their due dates, just their time. So that's probably the best way right now that you can really help them. I know those are skills that are being built as they continue through high school, but might need a little extra help. And then feel free to reach out to me if anything comes up. I'm here for you guys. I'm here for your students. And I look forward to the day that I get to have your kids back in my classroom and speak Spanish together. We'll be speaking on the computer, but it's just not the same. So hope you're all doing well and have a wonderful day. Adios.